2022 was an amazing year in film. Doesn't matter what you're into, there was something for you. Whether it be multiversal dramedies, satirical slashers, evil classical music composers, war movie, Timothée Chalamet eating bitches up, animated movies that will rip your heart out, Michelle Williams twirling her bowl cut, rich people are evil and they need to be destroyed, propaganda with heart, women talking, that one really surreal movie you watch that you don't really get until 3 months later on a toilet, and Ambulance. I just wanted to preface because the Oscars are an exclusive, problematic, and competitive establishment that fail to be the great showcase of art that we expected to be. There's corruption and dumb outcomes, but don't let that deter you from seeking out movies beyond its handful of choices. With that being said though, the Oscars just happened and I did my yearly tradition of watching all the nominees, all 54 nominees, so now I have become the only credible source in the world, and I am here to present my thoughts, my opinions, my feelings about what went down. I'm gonna go down each category, talk about my predictions for nominations, my picks, and then the winners. I'll go through all the lesser recognized awards and work my way up to the main categories. Like the content creator that I am, I decided that instead of just sitting here and reading off my script, I would do something more engaging. So I have decided to transform myself into Oscar the award. I remembered I had face paint from last Halloween. I dressed up as Pennywise, which turned out really good, like really amazing.
Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
And just give you all my thoughts, my feelings, and my opinions about it. So yeah, I'll go through all the lesser recognized awards and work my way up to the main categories. If you don't want to watch all that, then you can just skip to timestamp somewhere here. Let me know your favorites in the comments, who you wanted to win, who you were rooting for, and without further ado, let's do it. So here's the thing, I don't have a bald cap. I didn't prepare for this in any way, so I'm just gonna have my hair up like this and just pretend you don't see it. Just don't look at it. Don't look here either. Just look in the general direction of me, but not over here. First, I'm gonna erase my eyebrows. I don't want to shave them off, so I looked up how to do that, and now I have my glue stick, and I'm gonna do that. So first, I'm gonna start with Best Documentary Short. So the nominees for the documentary short were The Elephant Whisperer, Haul Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate. I'm gonna get a mirror. My personal favorite of the bunch was Haul Out. It's like a concise short about the impact global warming has on the lives of walruses. And my second pick was The Elephant Whisperer, which is about this couple who nurture a baby elephant. The only other standout was The Martha Mitchell Effect, and the other two I did not like. How Do You Measure a Year is basically like a glorified YouTube video. Stranger at the Gate, however, was an interesting topic, a topic that I've known of for years, but the way it's presented feels so ugly. Or not ugly, but like wrong. It's about the attempted bombing at the Munis Islamic Center and how the assailant ended up having a change of heart. It's presented in this Muslims are humans too way, and it centers on the white man in the situation versus the people who were actually like affected by it. The fear that a situation like that creates and the number of those attempts that are successful just go on to disprove why this was necessary. And I understand that it was to show a different perspective and to reach a different audience, but it's still I can't help but feel that way about it, especially considering the fact that after hearing about those stories, it just makes you feel even more unsafe in those environments. I've just been doing this for the past, it feels good. My picks were Haul Out and The Elephant Whisperer, and I believe Elephant Whisperer won, which good for it. I'm glad it won. I'm gonna be choosing two picks for the most part, because I like winning. This is already becoming a mess. Look at all this glue just coming off. Do I have something on my eyebrows? So the nominees for documentary were All That Breeds, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny. All of these exceptional, except for Navalny. My personal two favorites were Fire of Love and All That Breeds. I remember watching Fire of Love in theaters, and it was an empty theater except for this other woman who asked me how I felt about the movie and then ended up telling me her entire life story afterwards. And then after that, we ended up at the same bus stop. So if you're watching, hi, I don't know your name. Hope you found your dog. All That Breeds and All the Beauty and the Bloodshed are great. All That Breeds is about a group of people who save birds from like the air pollution in a city in India. A House Made of Splinters I just felt like it was a little too exploitative. It's about this group of kids who live in a safe house away from abusive environments and how they're affected by the Ukrainian war. So here's the thing, I have a yellow and I have an orange, but I don't have a gold. I'm gonna do a layer of yellow first. My main pick to win was Fire of Love, and then it was Beauty and the Bloodshed, but Navalny ended up winning. It's an hour and a half long documentary hell-bent bent on making this politician seem like the most likable human ever. It's about this candidate opposing Putin in Russia and his tribulations in trying to free the country from an oppressive regime. It fails to show depth in the subject. It's all tied together in these like tense Aaron Sorkin like moments. Something out of The Social Network or Molly's Game. Maybe I'm not too obsessed after finding out the subject compared Muslims to cockroaches and flies and is still heavily anti-migrant and stated that he's perfectly fine working with Nazis to get to where he wants to be. So yeah, maybe I'm not too obsessed with it. Didn't like it as a film, and I sure as hell don't love that it won, but it won. That's kind of fucked up. Oh god, this smells so bad. The best animation shorts this year were surprisingly really good. I loved Ice Merchants. It's so sad. I like really recommend you check it out. It's on YouTube. And an ostrich told me the world is fake, and I think I believe it. That one was good. And My Year of Dicks. The Flying Sailor was beautiful, and then there was The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and the Horse. I feel like it was the most lacking compared to the others, especially when all the other ones were so high in quality and story. It just felt like a really long showcase of look at how adorable this is. This is so adorable. It just didn't hold up. I wasn't a fan of it. I feel like it would have done better as like a cute little storybook. Like it just felt like Apple TV going like, look Oscar, cute animation. How adorable and cute. Look at it. So cute. It was way too long for what it should have been. But none of that matters because it won. Yay. My picks were Ice Merchants and an ostrich told me whatever. No, that's not right. For Best Animated Feature, this year was a massive step in the right direction compared to the last few, because usually this category just ends up being a Disney ad. It's the most disregarded because it's reduced to just being like a children's movie category, when it's not, because animation is just another medium. It's just like film. And it's insane because some of the best movies from the last 2 years have been animation. But the nominees this year I was like happy with. My personal favorite was Turning Red. It was near the top of my yearly list. I had such a good time watching it. It's adorable, it's awkward, and it just gets to relationships in immigrant families and the growing pains. Her whole dynamic with her mother, I feel like it was so personal to me. Stories feel perfect and true because here they are. It like rips your heart out and then puts some like 2000s tween cringe on it, and you just go, thank you. It's not for everyone apparently. The controversy behind it was extremely stupid, and I feel like if you fell for that, you should give it an honest chance. It was such an adorable movie that just got massively shit on, and that sucks. Marcel the Shell is also fucking amazing. It's like the equivalent of seeing like your entire childhood imagination just run on screen. It's adorable, it's funny, and it's full of heart. I showed this to my family, and my sister was extremely distressed by it. She thought it was really disturbing because blue people who fuck via their tails are fine, but little shells with googly eyes are Satan's spawn. I love that. I feel like this is just gonna turn out like my painting Kermit video where I just do the same brush stroke over and over, like just keep talking and not realizing what I'm doing. This is gonna turn out really horrible. Puss in Boots and Pinocchio are both gorgeous, but I found myself not connecting to them as much as most people were. I appreciate them, and I still recommend you check them out. It just wasn't for me. I thought they were cute though. Sea Beast, I thought it was alright. It felt heavily derivative and was a little forgettable, but it had some really beautiful animation moments. But overall, my picks for the win were Pinocchio, just because how gorgeous it was, and because it had Guillermo del Toro's name attached to it, and Turning Red because I was hopeful, and Pinocchio ended up winning, which is perfectly fine. I love that. I'm happy that it won. The live action category this year was miles better than last year's. Surface level and trauma exploitative garbage. We have An Irish Goodbye, Evilou, Le Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase. Le Pupille was charming. I know I'm butchering that name. It was charming and fun, and I know Sofia Coppola was fuming. She couldn't snatch those little brunette bitches up. Night Ride was odd. It was somewhat funny and had somewhat of a point, but the execution was a mess. All to end it off in that tangerine wig scene, sure. And then it was Evilou, which was very exploitative, but had somewhat of a voice. It was good, but not great. And then there's Irish Goodbye, which was cute, funny, and heartwarming, and it fully utilized its runtime. And then my favorite was The Red Suitcase. So good, so well executed. The character development was so on point. It's about this hijabi girl who tries to flee what seems to be like a hostile situation. It's very minimal. You don't really get much exposition. You kind of just have to connect the dots yourself, and I love that. It doesn't really try try to make this big show of a moment about like a hijabi ripping off her scarf and like symbolizing freedom or whatever. It has depth, it has nuance. It was my personal favorite, and I definitely recommend you check it out whenever it comes out. So my picks were Irish Goodbye and The Red Suitcase, and Irish Goodbye won, which I'm fine with. I would have loved to see Red Suitcase win, but hey, a win is a win. Now, international feature film was a solid selection. There was All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, Close, EO, and then The Quiet Girl. Each of them are like solid movies with the exception of Close. I think Close is excellent, and it is extremely sad and heart-wrenching, so be careful. EO was hilarious in the fact that it had me like on the edge of my seat watching this donkey find its way back to its owner. I need everyone to watch it. The Quiet Girl, I randomly stumbled on it last year and I had to lie down afterwards because of how sad it was. Then there's Argentina 1985, which is like a cheaper Aaron Sorkin movie. Second Aaron Sorkin reference of the movie. I'm paying his bills. It was good in the fact that like it portrayed the story, but that's about all it did. It just portrayed its story. It was basically like the equivalent of reading about it. It didn't really take advantage of the different perspectives it could have used. It was just, it wasn't my favorite. And then All Quiet on the Western Front, which is this year's dedicated Oscar bait. That's not to say that it's bad. It's a well-made film, and I liked a lot of its elements. But I just think a lot of what it was trying to do has been done better, specifically in Paths of Glory. I think it's the third or fourth retelling, and it's based on a book. So I get that there's not a lot of leeway you can take with the writing. I think the original movie won Best Picture. Anyway, I don't think it's this movie's fault that it got so many nominations or it won so many awards. That's just the nature of how the Oscars are. I found it hilarious that India didn't submit RRR for consideration. I sound like a fucking seal. RRR. It could have won. The white people were eating it up. My prediction was All Quiet and Close, and All Quiet won, which wasn't really a shock to anyone. For Best Costume Design, we had Babylon, Black Panther 2, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Now, Babylon had great costumes. Black Panther 2 had some amazing costumes. Elvis, I liked some of the suits. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Jobu Tubaki didn't change into the most well-made costumes every 0.5 seconds for it to not win this award. And then Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, I don't know. I'm just happy that it's here. I saw it on a plane ride a few months ago and I really liked it. It was like a fun, nice little heartwarming movie. My picks were that and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was corrected swiftly because Black Panther won, which is great. I'm happy that it won. It was well deserved. All the costumes are amazing. This is the second time because Black Panther won too, so that's great. Oh, it's not great. It's not great. It's awful. Hello. It was All Quiet, The Batman, Black Panther 2, Elvis, and The Whale. So my picks were Elvis and All Quiet, even though I knew as soon as I watched the movie, The Whale was gonna win. I thought the department behind Elvis did an amazing job with the prosthetics, especially when it came to aging the character. And then All Quiet had so much mud and blood. So, I don't know. I don't fucking go to school for makeup and hairstyling. The Whale won for its high-tech fat suit, which is fine. I was happy knowing that this is one of the only categories it was nominated for. All Quiet. Avatar 2, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fabelmans. Avatar 2 wasn't gonna get it. It was mainly CGI. My picks were Babylon, because the set design there was incredible. It was so intricate. I know I'm literate. I was almost sure that it was gonna win. I loved The Fabelmans' like nostalgic depiction of the 50s and 60s. I'm saying that like I know what the 50s and 60s were like back in the day. Who? All Quiet won for its innovation in fields and war trenches and whatever the fuck. So the nominees for sound were All Quiet. Were you silent or were you silenced? All Quiet, Avatar 2, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun. Somebody hold me back. Somebody hold me back. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that Nope didn't get a nomination for this. When out of Best Picture, Best Supporting Actress, any of the technical awards, for it to not be nominated for sound, that movie in my eyes is a true winner of this category, but whatever. My picks were Top Gun and All Quiet, and Top Gun won. I'm glad because it was the only award it was gonna get. Tough year for propaganda with heart, huh? So the nominees for original song were Applause, Hold My Hand, Lift Me Up, Not To, and This Is a Life. This is a life. This is a life. This is a life. Applause, not Lady Gaga. Diane Warren is a certified seat filler for this category at this point. She writes a song, gets nominated, repeat. The performances were all good, but Not To, and Lift Me Up stole the show. Lady Gaga had this whole raw embryo moment, and the fact that Mitski wasn't there to perform was a tragedy. My picks were Not To, and This Is Life, and Not To won, just as I had suspected. This is life. Ooh, don't want to get copyrighted. For Best Original Score, the nominees were All Quiet, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fablemans. Now, hold me back. This was Babylon's award. This was the only shot it had. How do you mess that up? Justin Hurwitz didn't make the best soundtrack of his career for you to come for him like this. Take a moment out of your day and listen to the soundtrack and tell me that I'm wrong. Like, I'm genuinely so mad. Like, that was the only award that it had a shot at and it didn't get it, and I'm pissed. My picks to win were Babylon and Banshees, but guess the fuck what? All Quiet and its dumbass little doo-doo score took it home. I hate it. Every time this movie won an award, it was like doo-doo. It's like shell shock. Best Cinematography. All Quiet, Bardot, Elvis, je ne sais quoi, how do you say Elvis? Empire of Loot, and Tar. My predicted nominations were Top Gun, The Fablemans, Nope, After Sun, and Babylon. None of which were nominated, and all of which deserved. My pick to win, though, out of the actual nominations was All Quiet and Tar, and boom, All Quiet won. So, so happy for you. So happy. You know what I look like? Oh my god, I look like Lemonhead. I look like Lemonhead from Adventure Time. I forgot what he sounded like. No, that's not his name. It was Lemon Grab. I look like Earl of Lemon Grab. This castle is in unacceptable condition! I know my mom's downstairs like, bitch, go to sleep. I mean, let me ask the audience. Acceptable condition! Unacceptable! For visual effects, there was All Quiet, Avatar 2, The Batman, Black Panther 2, and Top Gun. And I had a hard time choosing what my pick was gonna be. But at the end of the day, I landed on All Quiet on the Avatar 2. Like, as soon as that movie was announced, this nomination was placed here. Don't even joke around. James Cameron would have shit out his past Oscars if he didn't get this. For film editing, we have Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun. And my pick for the win was Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie was edited on Adobe Premiere with, I think, a team of 5 people at home. So if that's not the most inspirational thing, telling you to go get the fuck up out of bed and do something, get a job, you poor piece of bleep, then I don't know what is. This deserved, and it won. And it looked flawless. Now, with all the technical categories over with, it's time to get on to the meat of the main categories. Like, the reason why you're here. If you're skipped ahead till now, this is unacceptable! My predictions were Everything Everywhere All at Once, Babylon, Triangle of Sadness, Nope, and Tar. At one point I had Bodies on this list, which it really deserved that nomination. The actual nominees are Banshees, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Not mad whatsoever. All exceptional. I chose Everything Everywhere All at Once to win, and I'm happy to report that it did. You don't know how much this means to me. Like, you don't know how much this means to me, nor am I willing to elaborate. So for best adapted screenplay, I predicted the nominees would be She Said, Top Gun, Bones and All, and Glass Onion. The actual nominees are All Quiet, Glass Onion, Living, Top Gun, and Women Talking. The Women Talking was an inevitable nomination, and I'm glad it got something other than Best Picture, but it winning, it was shocking. Like, you don't know how much this means to me. It was my pick alongside with Top Gun, but a few awards into the show, I really thought All Quiet was gonna take it, so I was scared. Here we are in a reality where All Quiet didn't win over Women Talking. There is a hope in the world. Now for Best Director. My predictions were the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Jordan Peele for Nope, Charlotte Wells for After Sun, Todd Field for Tar, and Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans. But the actual nominees were Martin McDonagh for Banshees, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. I had Ruben Östlund on my list for a while, but I kind of took him off because I was like, they're not gonna do that, but they did. But so here's the thing. In a year this diverse in filmmaking, for there to still not be any female nominees is disturbing. You had Charlotte Wells right there, off the heels of an amazing festival run. Sarah Polley, Alina Rahan, I don't know how you say her name, but there was talent showcased all over. For it to still be white men, with the exception of the Daniels, well, with the exception of one Daniel.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish, but Charlotte Wells had one of the best debuts of the year.
After Sun is such a delicately directed, heart-wrenching piece of shit. I'm shocked Ruben Östlund was actually here, but he won the Palme d'Or, so I don't know why I was like, this movie, no one's heard about it, Triangle of Sadness, My picks were the Daniels and Todd Field, and guess who fucking won? It's like, no. Seeing the Daniels win is like seeing my children win. So fucking happy, like they deserved it, period. End of sentence, no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. They won it in a SAC category. Like, that's amazing. Great, good for them. I did the best I could. Is it the best? Absolutely not. But I feel like I'm gonna go crazy if I keep like putting on layers of yellow and yellow and yellow. This is getting on my nerves. Eyebrows didn't work, but that's fine. Alright, now I'm gonna try to do the shadows of the statue around my face. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. For supporting, we had Angela Bassett for Black Panther 2, Hong Shao for The Whale, Terry Condon for Banshees, Jamie Lee Curtis for EEAO, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm just gonna go for the jugular. Why in the ever-loving fuck was Jamie Lee Curtis here? Love her, adore her, but what? For that role? This felt more like a legacy nod than for anything. Like, it's so disappointing when shit like this happens, because we had better performances that year, like Dolly De Leon in Triangle of Sadness, Carey Mulligan in She Said, even Keke Palmer. Nope, I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. Hong Shao was great. I'm taking this as a nomination for The Menu and Dying for the little screen time she had. Terry Condon was amazing. She was stellar. She would have been my pick if it weren't for Stephanie Hsu. She devoured this role. The campy, villainy, and the despair was so real. Regardless of how many experienced actors there were on that set, anytime she was on screen, she tore them all up. But out of that amazing movie, the performance you choose is Jamie Lee Curtis. Happy for her that she got an Oscar, but be serious. If she got nominated for this, she should have gotten nominated for Halloween Kills, where she like shoves a whole needle in her ass.
Do you even know what that is? It makes the pain go away.
Okay, this is starting to come together. Is this working? Yep, I look like a statue. For lead, we have Cate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, and Michelle Yeoh for EEAO. Again, some of these performances are not like the others. Let's start with the positives though. Cate Blanchett was, let me get all like full movie reviewer up in here. She was electric. She was. Can you spell magnetic? This is probably my favorite performance by her, and that's saying a lot. Michelle Yeoh was outstanding. Insert all the positive adjectives. My favorite performance of the year. I was honestly fine with either of them getting it, but as soon as Jamie got that Oscar for Best Supporting Actors, no. Like, I'll be damned if this movie walks away with acting wins, and one of the only ones is Jamie Lee Curtis for fucking Deirdre. No. Enough about that. This is in no way targeted towards Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I'm not over here like, she's evil and she needs to be destroyed. No, of course course not. Obviously, the nomination was not something in her control. Like, I rewatched the movie after it won, and I was so, like, flabbergasted at the fact that she won, let alone being nominated. So the voters do better. Michelle Williams had a spot here. From the moment we got, like, the first glance at her tiny little bob cut, you knew she'd be up to some maniacal evil shit, and she delivered. Andrea Riseborough was a left field nomination. Like, no one saw this coming. Barely anyone heard about the movie. And there she is in the 5 nominees. A shock, twist. Not gonna delve too much into what happened. She had a good performance. The movie was alright. I mean, even she was shocked she was there. So, Ana de Armas for Blonde. Now, it's common knowledge that this movie is exploitative and disgusting, so I'm not gonna get into that. Her performance, though, there was no range. The Wi-Fi was off, there was no range. The material was so god-awful, and I truly believe she gave it her all, but it was not good. Her getting nominated was this another case of, like, biopic bias. And I came up with that. Even though the version of Marilyn Monroe she played was just like a fucked up interpretation of the actual person, my predictions for the nominations were Danielle Deadwyler, who was a powerhouse, who should have been here, and Margot Robbie, who had my favorite performance of her career. None of that matters because we got an Oscar win for motherfucking Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh, Oscar winner. That sounds right. Does this look awful? Be honest. Hello? For Best Supporting Actor, I predicted Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Mark Rylance for Bones and All, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, Brad Pitt for Babylon, and Barry Keoghan for Banshees. Now the actual nominees are Brendan Gleeson and Barry Keoghan for Banshees, Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, and Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Overall, I have no qualms with this. I would have liked seeing Mark Rylance over Judd Hirsch, and Brad Pitt had one of his best performances in Babylon, but again, I'm fine with how this is. Barry Keoghan and Brian Tyree Henry, of all the names, this is the one I pronounced just they were great, but this award was here for one person only, and that is Ke Huy Quan, and he won, so good for him. His speech was adorable. Like, that was a perfect storyline. That was the most satisfying award that was given, and it worked, and he got it, and that's amazing. He deserved it. For Best Lead Actor, I predicted it was going to be Austin Butler for Elvis, Gabriel LaBelle for The Fabelmans, Paul Mescal for Aftersun, Colin Farrell for The Banshees, and Brendan Fraser for The Whale. The actual nominees were the same, except Gabriel LaBelle was switched out for Bill Nighy. I don't know how you say his name. Now, the amount of campaigning Austin Butler did for this award is, like, worthy of an Oscar in and of itself. His performance was great. Colin Farrell was one of my favorites. I think just that movie in general, all the actors did amazing. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of The Whale. I wasn't a fan at all of The Whale. I thought Brendan Fraser was great in it. He was the only tolerable part in the movie. And then my personal favorite of the bunch was Paul Mescal in Aftersun. The subtlety and nuance that he showed throughout the movie works so well. Every time you rewatch it, you find just a little nugget that was left behind from the last time. And it was such an emotional role, and he killed it. Bill Nighy's, again, I don't know how to say his name. His performance wasn't my favorite. I wasn't a huge fan of the movie Living. I wasn't living for Living. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The award went to Brendan, which was satisfying. Again, a good storyline. It felt like a legacy award more than one based solely on the performance. I am happy that he gets to come back after all that, and I'm happy he won. It was satisfying to watch him win. It was just a happy award. I would have voted for Austin, but hey, I really don't care. It could have been either one of them. Now I'm gonna finish doing all the orange, and then I'm gonna come back and then add glitter, and then yeah. Now here's the thing. I just opened up a picture of, like, the actual close-up face, which I don't know why I didn't do before. Bitch, I got it all wrong. Look at the material. You can be the judge of it. Oh shit. Oh god, it's going everywhere. I was acting. Do I just, like, tap it on? I guess so.
To this place for magic.
Can you even see it?
Come to AMC theaters to laugh, to cry.
Look at my cracked ass phone. It's embarrassing. Do I even look like the Oscar? I look like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Let me know what it works. I may not have a bald cap, but I have a green t-shirt.
Because we need that. All of us. That indescribable.
If I can just, like, do this. Don't laugh, this is art. This is what I have chosen to do with my life.
Genuinely quite stressful.
Mom, I just want an Oscar.
You like me right now.
You don't deserve me. You don't deserve me. If you can't handle me at my Oscars, then you can't handle me at all. If I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest, can I be honest for one moment here? This isn't terrible. I dare you to be better. Well, no, I don't. Don't upstage me. That's gross. The way this is two different colors, this isn't gonna work. What? You don't deserve me. No. Smash or pass. Siblings are dating. Like. Now the nominees for Best Picture are as follows. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar 2, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything's The Fablemans, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Now, my predictions were basically the same because I'm like smart and right at everything, except I switched out Avatar 2, All Quiet, and Women Talking for Babylon, Nope, and She Said. I know Babylon was a long shot, but it was worth a shot, alright? It deserved it. Nope should have been here. I'm still surprised She Said wasn't nominated, given all the Harvey Weinstein love throughout the past 30 years. You think they'd nominate the Weinstein takedown movie? I don't know. This is a pretty solid list. There's something for almost everybody here. Do I love all these movies? No, but that's not what matters. I personally didn't like Elvis. Well, like is a strong word. I hated it. Watching the new Avatar was a fun experience. Really fun. Other than that, didn't really have much of an impact. I was almost losing hope for Triangle of Sadness. I felt like I was the only one rooting for it. My only real picks were Everything Everywhere All at Once or Banshees. I'm surprised Banshees got no awards throughout the whole night. Like, I really thought that was going to be a big winner. After all the technical wins, I was scared All Quiet was gonna sneak away with Best Picture, but guess fucking what? Everything Everywhere All at Once won. Everything Everywhere won Best Picture all at once. Saying it sounds so unreal, but it's real. It's not just real to me, it's real to the world. So if you don't like it, deal with it. I remember watching it for the first time in the theaters. I was like, I couldn't stop crying afterwards, and I'm not a crier like that. So that was a really heavy movie for me. And then I watched it again and then again and then again, as many times as I could in theaters. When it came out, I was like, this is a huge movie, but I know the Oscars aren't gonna give it love. Here we are, and it won. They won me. The prize, me. The Everything Everywhere All at Once sweep, including Jamie Lee, is so monumental. And I hope this paves the way even more for future weird, you know. So now that I've done all this, I decided it would be the perfect moment for me to hold my own award show, and I'm gonna title it the VTRM Awards. Title in progress, because I can't think of a better one. Best Performance by a Non-Human. So the nominees for Best Performance by a Non-Human are Marcel from Marcel the Shell, Nana Connie from Marcel the Shell, Jenny from Banshees of Inisherin, EO from EO, Wolf from Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, Snake from The Bad Guys, Spazzatura from Pinocchio, Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Elephant from Babylon, and Jean Jacket from Nope. Stacked category, ladies and gentlemen, but there can only be one winner. So the winner for Best Performance by a Non-Human is... It's a tie. We have our first tie in the history of the VTRM Awards. It's a tie between Marcel from Marcel the Shell and Jean Jacket from No. Woo! Give it up for both of them. There are no awards because I didn't make any awards, so I will mail them to you. Now, the next category is Cry or I'm Gonna Kill Myself. Now, the nominees for Cry or I'm Gonna Kill Myself are After Sun, Close, The Quiet Girl, The Whale, and spoiler alert. Now the winner for Cry or I'm Gonna Kill Myself is After Sun. Woo! Give it up for After Sun. The next honorary award is for Best Scream Sequel that isn't a Scream sequel, and the winner is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Woo! The next category is Best Controversy Award. The nominees for Best Controversy Award are Babylon for its critical reception, Turning Red for the tampon debacle, To Leslie for Andrea Riseborough's nomination, Blonde, its existence, Amsterdam, David Russell, Don't Worry Darling for its press, Crimes of the Future for the Cannes walkouts, Men, the Twitter outrage, The Batman, Not Enough Jokes, Avatar 2, its existence, and the winner of Best Controversy Award is Blonde! Woo! Give it up for Blonde for being the best controversy award. The next honorary award is Best Haircut, and the winner is Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans. Woo! The next category is I'm gonna turn this off now, which is for movies that are just a little too unbearable to watch, that test your limits. So the nominees are Crimes of the Future, Pleasure, Triangle of Sadness, Till, and Blonde. And the winner for I'm gonna turn this off now is let me think about it. Crimes of the Future. Give it up for Crimes of the Future, everybody. The next category is this was written by a man. I can smell it. For those movies that exude a written by man energy, and this is not a dig, there's just an energy there. Here are the nominees. Cooper Rave for Cha-Cha Real Smooth, Damien Chazelle for Babylon, David O. Russell for Amsterdam, Sam Mendes for Empire of Light, and Alex Garland for Men. And the winner for this was written by a man, I can smell it, is Alex Garland for Men. Congratulations, Alex Garland. Next category is Best Title with the in it. The nominees are Emily the Criminal, The Woman King, The Quiet Girl, The Menu, and The Whale. And the winner for Best Title with the in it is The Woman King. Woo! Congratulations. The next honorary award is Biggest Oscar Snub goes to Nope. Woo! The next award is for Biggest Disappointment. The nominees are Men, Don't Worry, Darling, Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, Black Panther 2. And the winner for Biggest Disappointment is Don't Worry, Darling. Woo! The next category is Best Avatar Reference. Now the nominees are Avatar 2, Babylon. Now the winner for Best Avatar Reference is Babylon. Woo! Now the next category is for Bad Hair Day, and this is just for the bad hair of the day. Not all of it is horrible, but the nominees are Zoe Dutch for Not Okay, Daisy Edgar Jones for Where the Crawdads Sing. Not because it was bad hair, but just because you're living in a fucking swamp, your hair should not look that good. Jessie Buckley in Men, Carey Mulligan in She Said, Colin Farrell for Banshees of Inisherin, and Leah Sado for Crimes of the Future. And the winner for Bad Hair Day is Zoe Dutch for Not Okay. Woo! Now the next category is for Gimmick of the Year. Now the nominees are Googly Eyes from Everything Everywhere All at Once, the accented A in Tar from Tar, Pearl memes, specifically No, I'm a Star from Pearl, Avatar 2 from Avatar 2, Austin Butler Elvis voice from Elvis. Now the winner for Gimmick of the Year goes to Austin Butler Elvis voice from Elvis. Woo! Now the next honorary award is for the ASMR Icon of the Year, and the winner is Kristen Stewart in Crimes of the Future. Woo! The next category is Actors Who Eat Other Actors Up, and this does not mean that any of these actors are bad. It means that some actors' performances were so overpowering, others were just faded, and this is just in recognition of that. So the nominees are Jenna Ortega versus Melissa Barrera in Scream, Florence Pugh versus Harry Styles in Don't Worry Darling, Elizabeth Olsen against the entire cast of Doctor Strange 2 from Doctor Strange 2, Stephanie Hsu versus the cast of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Kristen Stewart in any scene she's in Crimes of the Future. Now the winner for Actors Who Eat Other Actors Up is Florence Pugh in Don't Worry Darling. Woo! Now the next award is in recognition of those standout performances from those movies. Now the nominees for Standout of the Year are Rachel Sennett from Bodies, 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 Chloe East from The Fabelmans, Hong Shao from The Menu, Justin Long from The Barbarian, Jenna Ortega from X and Scream, and the winner of Standout of the Year is Rachel Sennett for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Woo! Now the next category is called You Adapted That? Nominees for You Adapted That are Where the Crawdads Sing, The Whale, All Quiet on the Western Front, Marcel the Shell, and Blonde. And the winner for You Adapted That are Blonde. Woo! And the next category is Scream Queen of the Year. Now the nominees are Jenna Ortega for X and Scream, Micah Monroe for Watcher, Rachel Sennett for Bodies, 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 Mia Goth for X and Pearl, Jessie Buckley for Men. Now the winner of Scream Queen of the Year is Jenna Ortega for X and Scream. Congratulations. And with that, I conclude the VTRM Awards of 2023. Now, if you're still here, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you still here? But thank you for watching. If you skipped half the video, I'm not gonna thank you. I'll give you half a thank you. You can have thank. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Make sure to like and share and comment. Let me know your Oscar picks and your favorites and your lists, because I want to read them. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, letterboxd, all in the description below, and let me know who your snub was for the VTRM Awards. Have a great rest of your day, night, whenever. Whatever. Bye. Bye.